Hey, Parks Casino really is my casino of choice. Had a lot of fun with the stories and cigars and Smerconish event. We got to do that again. Big demand. Give the gift of entertainment this holiday season. Tickets to a show at the Excite Center, Parks Casino. Perfect gift. Pennsylvania's #1 casino right off I-95, the Pennsylvania Turnpike in the Philly burbs. The Excite Center, that's where all the headliners come. Comedian Jessica Kierson just announced the reggae sounds of Shaggy. February 8th, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains, country star Scotty McCreery in March, plus the annual Joe Conklin Holiday Show. 2 shows December 5 and 19. He's a funny guy, and he's with Pete Spina's City Rhythm Orchestra in the Club 360. ParksCasino.com. You can buy tickets for all the shows. This is how you win. Have some fun this holiday weekend. Perfect weekend to go to Parks Casino, buy some tickets, and give away a great gift. People will love it. You've got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for Wednesday headlines. It feels like a Friday because of the holiday being tomorrow. Wednesday headlines from the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. Let me get to the heavy stuff first because we have it all. The ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon is our lead story today. I went with Al Jazeera's coverage. Why not? Israel's cabinet has approved a ceasefire between Israel and the Lebanese group Hezbollah through the Lebanese government. The question remains, what's going to happen relative to Israel and Hamas? They think they now can isolate Hamas without the support of Hezbollah. That's really what this deal is all about. Mexico says, Donald Trump, as president-elect, if you come in and you impose these tariffs, we will respond in kind. That's our additional lead story today from the newsletter. Mexico's president responded angrily to President-elect Donald Trump's pledge to impose a 25% tariff on the products if the country didn't curb the flow of irregular migrants and fentanyl, warning that the penalties would only wind up causing inflation and unemployment in the United States. There's an Axios piece on lawfare having backfired against those who wish Donald Trump would not have been successful in the election. I encourage everybody. I sent Ellie Honig a note yesterday, and I said that conversation that we had about Jack Smith in the first hour of the program that Dan then released as the podcast of the day, it was great. Ellie was excellent.
It was great. It was. You two are uniquely qualified to have that conversation because you've been having the conversation. So this was not a new topic. It was a continuation. It was a bookend. It was an end note. It was important. It was, it was all the things.
But it was also a what would have happened or what might have happened.
Right.
If in fact Jack Smith had been appointed sooner by Merrick Garland, had indicted Donald Trump, and did so before Alvin Bragg, and maybe there never were a Bragg case. This Axios piece today begins this way. All the time and effort poured into prosecuting Donald Trump only ended up putting him and every future president further above the law. Efforts to prosecute Trump for his first-term conduct are officially on ice, and he's entering his second term with the knowledge that he'll be extraordinarily difficult. It will be for anyone to prosecute him for anything that he does this time around. It's really amazing. It is really amazing. So there's the heavy stories of the day, and there are more in today's newsletter, but there's also this. Get ready to gain 6 pounds.
I refuse.
Do you still remember how delicious last year's Thanksgiving turkey was? It turns out that's not the only thing you're hanging on to over the last 12 months. A quarter of Americans are still carrying weight they gained during last year's holiday season, according to new research. The survey of 2,000 Americans revealed that 24% are still carrying the weight they gained at the end of 2023. On average, that's almost 10 pounds.
Wow. That's amazing. It is a tough time of year, but going from now to the whole cookie situation, desserts.
Oh, I mean look what you brought me today.
I did.
TC brought me a whole...
I did. I brought you...
She's fattening me up. She brought me 4 different types of cookies.
I wanted you to try every one that we had last night. I thought you would enjoy them.
And I will.
Yeah, they're delicious.
I will. Yeah.
And nutritious.
Yeah, and I have a sweet tooth. So
I know. That's why I tempt you with these things.
Not much restraint.
But pecan pie, too, is on the docket. Making them today, serving them tomorrow. Can't wait. My very favorite dessert. I love pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
And I love it with hot coffee because it's so sweet, like unbelievably sweet, and then have it with black coffee.
Yeah. I don't want to gain the
what
6,
are you looking
but that's
forward
what
to
they
the
say.
most?
I love pumpkin pie.
You do love pumpkin pie.
Yeah, and I
love
basic Thanksgiving dinner, which means turkey, white meat, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes. I just swallowed corn.
Yeah. Look at you.
But I don't need cranberry.
What kind of corn? Like a cream corn?
I love all kinds of corn.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
Fascinating.
I really do.
Unpopular opinion, turkey is the worst part of the Thanksgiving meal.
Oh,
You don't like it?
You've never had my brother's turkey.
Oh my gosh, it's so boring. It's boring, bland white meat.
My brother makes he makes
the
3 different kinds: sous vide, fried, and smoked. It's insane. Insane.
May I also throw this into the mix? This is not just the food segment of the program. It's also the food and beverage segment of the program.
Perfect. We love that.
Hangover cures are a dime a dozen. Guzzle a few raw eggs, take an aspirin before bed, chug a beer in the morning. These remedies promise to banish some of the nasty symptoms that can come with drinking way too much alcohol: headache, nausea, vertigo, anxiety, all of the above. Dr. Ryan Marino, a medical toxicologist and emergency physician at the University Hospital Cleveland Medical Center, says there's no truth to any of them.
Oh,
I
dear.
wish, he says, there was some magic that everybody could have, but there isn't. How about the myth of beer before liquor, never been sicker?
Yeah.
Liquor before beer,
never
in the
fear.
clear.
Oh, I say never fear.
Right. Some people swear by this adage, but in general, it's not the order of alcohol that determines the severity of your hangover. It's how much you consume.
I always thought that if you were going between drinks, that did mean that you were having a night, and that's why you weren't feeling well.
So read those stories. They're all in the newsletter today. Yesterday's poll result, we had 31,069 cast ballots. Should women serve in combat roles? I addressed that subject with Admiral Stavridis yesterday. 85.22% of those who voted agreed with the Admiral, who said women should serve in combat roles. Perfect timing for today's poll question. If Kamala Harris decides to run, is she the front runner for the Democratic nomination in 2028? Had a great conversation yesterday with the Politico California bureau chief. There's a story in the newsletter today about Chris Cuomo having hosted on Monday night John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. He's a big Democratic benefactor. He says that President Obama and Speaker Pelosi didn't want Kamala Harris, and that the reason Joe Biden so quickly endorsed his vice president wasn't out of loyalty to her. It was as an FU to Obama
How
and
about
Pelosi.
that?
We need a book written on this with all the inside skinny. So vote on today's poll question of the day. If Kamala Harris decides to run, is she the front runner for the Democratic nomination in 2028? More headlines now from the Wednesday edition of the newsletter, but not really. It's not a story per se that is in the newsletter, but rather a farewell to a funambulist.
Oh.
Farewell to a funambulist.
Yes, indeed.
Alice Herrick, who is our managing editor of all social media properties, but most notably the website and the newsletter, is leaving. She is leaving, and she's joining us today by YouTube.
That's right.
Never, Alice.
And so is Lester.
You never enjoyed like the YouTube videos. I was never able to coax you into being a big part of these.
I'm shy. I was worried that I was going to say something dumb that was going to get me canceled like way too early into my lifetime. And I just got nervous. But it's also, this is a very busy time for the editor. I currently have Maya, who's my successor, like watching this YouTube video because she has to do a write-up for it. So I'm sorry about that, but I just got a little bit, shy.
So let me just remind everybody briefly. By the way, how long have we been together? How long have you been here?
I started in July of 2022, so about 2.5 years.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, Alice. He always makes me do the same thing. He has no idea. Time does fly. It's amazing.
I love
lucky us.
reminding everybody that the way that I met Alice is that my friend Larry Seisler reached out for me. We have a close relationship and are always looking to mentor and assist young people and make sure that we have quality folks who are in each of our orbit.
Yes.
And I think what he said to me is that he did not interview you, but that people at his business, his company, interviewed you and were really impressed with you, but they didn't know that if they had something that fit for you. And he said to me, so, you should interview her if you're looking to hire. And he said, and there's one more thing. Yeah, what's that? She holds the world record for walking on a high wire in high heels. Like, Send her over, please. And then
I don't anymore. I just want to put that out. I don't anymore. But I thought at the time that I still did. So that was what I was saying at every single interview possible, just to get it to stick in people's heads.
It stuck. It worked. And then
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I also remember when Alice came in, I said to her for the first time, you may have been here, TC. I said, she told the story, and I said, oh, I get it, like, you're carny folk.
Oh, and I was like cringing,
She did
you.
not like that. Alice, you did not want to be known as carny folk, true?
We're cool now. You could call me a carny now, but no. Funambulist is the nice term.
So
please.
you've been great. And I am so sorry that you're
Thank
leaving.
you.
Am I at liberty, because I think the audience would enjoy this, am I at liberty to say where you're going?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun story.
Okay. So Alice told me a couple of months ago, hey, I'm ready for my next challenge, right? I'm ready to move on and do something different. And I can totally understand, because the hours are demanding. It's really hard to be on the clock early for newsletter dispatch, and she really doesn't get a break. And
Ever.
she didn't have an idea specifically what she was going to do. And of course, Alice is all caught up on Smerconish 2024 because she's had to marshal all the
Sure.
cartoonists.
Of course.
So, enter Bob Tursak at Brilliant Graphics, who I just think the world
wonderful.
of for what he's done on this project. Bob, this is like another Larry story.
Yep.
Bob sent an email and he said, hey, I'm looking for good people. I forwarded it to Alice. Alice and Bob then connected, and you tell the story. What are you going to go do, Alice?
It's way too fancy of a title for me, but I'm going to be his executive assistant over there at Brilliant Graphics. Yay! Yeah. He created some business cards for me, which is exactly the place that you want printing your business cards.
Oh my God,
if you
I
are
can
gonna have a
only
business
imagine.
Where's that video?
Eggshell. We'll get that video. Michael, fun fact, I was familiar with Bob and Brilliant Graphics a little bit before I started working for you.
How
I don't know
so?
if you knew this.
No.
When my mom, came into the studio, she brought her book with her that had a
Yes.
lot of her paintings.
No.
That was created by Brilliant Graphics. It was.
Oh, I love that book.
Oh
It's
my
phenomenal.
God. Kismet. Wow.
That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Small world.
still have it here.
I had no idea either until she sent it back to me. She said, "You're
Holy
interviewing with them."
smokes. Oh my gosh,
That is really
what.
cool.
So it means that as Maya now will replace Alice, Alice is going to Brilliant, and I run the risk of Alice touching Smerconish 2024 before I do, because
She
now
should.
she's going to be over there.
I
in the tent.
absolutely am going to. I'm going to make sure I'm in there first.
Absolutely
I need
no
this.
question. No question.
Any work memories you wish to share?
There's too many. I have to run this very quickly. I mean, of course, I love the day that I brought Lester, who is my lizard on my shoulder, trying to hide from the camera now, into the studio without you knowing it first. You thought it was cookies in a basket, but it was actually a lizard. I loved coming to the Mingle project in Sellersville. That was such a unique experience, especially to mingle with so many of the YouTube audience that I had only talked to online. I love them dearly. Bringing my mother onto the show was incredible. Coming to CNN, having you walk the tightrope. Someone on Facebook said when I announced my departure that this now makes Michael the most experienced funambulist on the team. And since that's technically correct, I'm losing my mind thinking about that. But you are the most experienced funambulist on the team now. And then just a little one is just speed running a Taylor Swift flight chart in 5 minutes for you.
Yes.
Was one of my
That was
favorite.
fun.
That was amazing.
Right, we were trying to figure out
Could
if
she?
she could make it back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
For
to
the Super Bowl.
Alice
For
charted
the
it
for the
brilliantly.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
I would like to think, I hope you're leaving here having learned some things, some of them good, Alice, from our time together.
Of course. I know a lot about you. I have a very special take on you, which I'm sure a lot of your audience would already agree with, is that you are in the middle. You strive to be in the middle. But I feel like I've always had some special insight into this because I run your communications and I run your social media. So I've always had eyes everywhere. And I don't want this to sound negative because I don't want it to be. But what I've always noticed is it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right, you get complaints from either side of the political spectrum
Always.
so often
I know.
that has always been validating to me that you are in the middle, is because you're constantly making everyone angry on either side. And I don't want it to walk away sounding like that. You are incredible and you're a wonderful host, but I just thought that was always a very interesting, validating point to me. You know,
TC
I
sees
feel
that.
the same way on CNN, and Alice knows this, that I get hammered from both sides. And to me, it's like, all right, if you make everybody mad, you're doing something right.
Our team, right? We've got this growing team. You've been able to work with everybody. Any faves on the team?
Favorites?
Yeah.
My top team member who I like finally want to reveal.
Go ahead.
Is Danny Savalos.
Danny Savalos. Why?
Wow.
Whoa. How come?
You cannot compete with me if you bring up 90 Day Fiancé at any point. Michael, you were on vacation at this point. This was the only time by like my own will that I ever called into the show. So excited because he put a note out. He said, all right, who wants to talk about TLC's 90 Day Fiancé? I think TC might remember I called into the show very excited.
Yes,
but
she knew
all
things.
kidding aside, no, I can't, I could never rank everyone on the team. Dan and TC and David and Maya and PJ and everyone in Creative Outfit and you, Michael, have just been so incredibly supportive in a way that is way too ridiculously supportive of me being myself in this role too. I don't think I'm ever going to find another position where people are going to allow me to walk a tightrope and do some bodybuilding.
All right, but this is like the Trump orbit, Alice, okay, in a good way. Like you're not really leaving. You're still going to be out there and people, they come back to the orbit, right, TC? They come back, they leave, they come back.
They absolutely come back.
You're never really gone. You're
Yep.
never really gone. I wish you great things. Please keep an eye on Smercomics 2024 because we are in the final 2 weeks now for distribution, and I'm really excited about it. And we just think the world of you. You've been great. Really,
Thank you,
really
Michael.
great. We're
Thank you
excited.
for
We're excited
everything.
about Maya, but I can't believe 2.5 years.
2.5 years. We
2.5
love you, Alice.
years.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love you.
the
Good luck,
best.
Alice.
Love you.
Yeah, keep in touch. Keep in
Thanks,
touch.
guys.
All right. So long to the lizard as well.
Bye, Lester.
Gang, happy Thanksgiving to all. Have a wonderful, wonderful couple of days. I'll be on CNN this weekend. Dan has great programming on radio lined up for you, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.